Ouija, are you at the door? You son of a bitch, you're putting that paw through the door. I see that paw. Does that mean you want to come in and say hello? I think we might have a special guest here, folks. The Ouija cat. Come on, bud. You want to come in? No. Camera shy as always. Wants to put his paw underneath the door. All cute like, but doesn't actually want to come in. Okay. We're gonna find... See, now he's doing it again like a little weirdo. Sticking his paw underneath. What a little weirdo. We're getting the link. How's everybody doing tonight, folks? Ouija. Alright. We're gonna try this again. Come on, buddy. Hey. Hi. You want to come in? Oh shit. We got him coming in. Come on. Yes, we have Ouija cat in the place. A very special guest on the Humble Among broadcast system. Ouija cat. Oh, come here, buddy. Oh, this fucker's fat. He got fat. Oh. Hey, bud. Say hello. Camera shy. He's not really down. Ah, good boy. Alright, he wants to go. Thank you for your cameo. Be off. Go on. Go on. Ouija cat. Ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Let me get this fucking link here going. Da 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 da. Okay. Now we're going to make a little post on Facebook about this, like I always end up doing. About Camp Izul and Mother. Good enough. Be gone, kitten. Exactly. What's up, Colt Cannon? How you doing tonight, my guy? No. Okay. So I just put that link in there. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, I should put it in the fucking Discord too. The piss cord. The shitty ass cord. Alright. Well then, how's everybody doing? Oh, of course, my guy. I gotta try to get at least once a weekend, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So, I went to Ohio again. Oh, and I should, start off with the gimmick here, before we get into this list of notes that I have for you. So I went to Ohio for Camp Zool. We're going to be talking a little bit about Camp Zool and what I was able to catch at Camp Zool. Spoiler, it was cold as fuck, so I didn't catch a lot of shit at Camp Zool because it was cold. But while I was in Ohio, I finally stopped at a convenience store and found a grip of goddamn Faygo. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw me post about the fucking Faygo haul that I fucking got in Ohio. I got like fucking 10 different flavors. So, a bunch of them that I've never tried. Most of them I had never tried. Only cotton candy and fireworks are the ones that I had tried before. So, here's a fucking root beer I'm going to try on stream for the first time for you folks. This is a rather basic bitch flavor. I figured I'd start with some basic bitch boys and girls. And work my way up to more interesting flavors. I got some pretty interesting ones. Spoiler, you can go and check on my Instagram the flavors that I got. That is a root beer. That is officially a root beer. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, we're going to be talking about a lot of shit. First of all, next Monday, if you're in the Vermont area, come on down to Rutland, Vermont at the Howlin' Mouse. I'm going to be performing a rap show, a little turkey food drive, if you will. It's free admission if you bring a turkey or a non-perishable food item, I believe is how it is worded on the flyer. Or non-perishable food item, or $10 at the door. If you want to pay at the door, the money is going towards the Project Happy Holidays. So it's going to feed people regardless. This is a very charitable cause, I believe. Yeah, I think all the money or donations are going to charitable causes. So come on out for that. That's with Conflict, Press Lords, GMBP, Green Mountain Boys. Shouts out them. Shouts out Conflict too, and Joe Grits. I don't know Press Lords or Joe Grits, but yeah, I'm gonna be performing with them. So come check that shit out. Don't know what time that is, but yeah, it's gonna be fucking really good time. I really had a great time at that last Howlin' Mouse show. So come on out to that shit in Rutland, Vermont. I believe I'm gonna be trying to get Kosuke to come out with me for that shit. Basic bitch flavor, basic bitch boys and girls. Charlie Brown, what's up, my guy? How you doing? At work again? Oh shit. Sneaking, yes. Sneak this illicit, humble among content at your work. That pleases me. Yeah. All right. So that show's gonna be going down next Monday, a Monday night show. So yeah, it's gonna be live as fuck, I'm sure. But yeah, shouts out David Fair for hooking me up with that spot. And letting me do some charitable causes while I'm at it. Not gonna do that. I saw earlier today, I think this happened last night or the night before, that Drake and Kanye squash their beef, huh guys? You guys are into that kind of news, right? Lil Niffer, what's up, my guy? Injustice Studios. Lil Niffer, that name. Boy, that name is familiar. Did I meet you at the gathering, Niffer? Niffer, please. Oh my god, what am I doing? So yeah, Drake and Kanye squashed their beef, guys. That's some nice, fresh, wicked underground Juggalo news for you. Figured I'd throw that in there on some snarky bullshit. Niffer, please refresh my memory. I have such a trash memory, and I know that name. Where did we meet? I've listened to your music a bit. Oh, okay. Okay, brother. I see what we're doing here. Darby O'Trill, and some more Juggalo-related news, is going to be taking his album Piecemeal off of all streaming services. I think he might have taken that shit off today. So, if you have not listened to it, you're going to have to wait for the LSP re-release, my guy, and if you didn't get the CD, you fucked up. That's now going to be a collector's item, boy. I got that somewhere over here in my stack of CDs that I got to fucking reorganize. This shit is crazy in here, folks. I got to do something about this. I got to spend some time in here. In some more mainstream news yet again, but kind of horrorcore related news. 3-6 Mafia versus Bone Thugs. If you don't know what Versus is, it's a Instagram Triller, I guess, type of streaming thing where they have two rap groups, mainstream rap groups, go head to head, 20 songs versus 20 songs. They take their best 20 songs and they go head to head, 20 rounds, song versus song, and yeah, people kind of pick which is the best track based off of that. I think it's a dope concept. Personally, haven't watched any of them myself, but 3-6 versus Bone Thugs might get me to watch one. I said I needed help. We met on Facebook. Oh, yes, you're the homie in Vermont. That's right. Shouts out Little Niffer, my guy. Thank you for tuning into my live stream. If you do want to meet up, and I can show you some shit about rap music, my guy. You're the guy that wanted some pointers, rap lessons, I guess, was how you were putting it. I can't really give you rap lessons, but I can show you a few things and sit down with you and maybe work on writing some bars and showing you how to spit some bars or something. Anyway, Emily Justice in the house. What the fuck? You're a bitch, but I love you. Thank you, Emily. I know that's your way of saying that you do love me, but yes, thank you, Emily. Um, Shouts out to Emily's roommate, Emily. What's up? Bruja, what up, homie? What up back to you, homie? Whoop, 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 whoop to Razel. I'm catching up with my whoop whoops here in the chat, you guys. How's it going, my good ninja? Great. It's going really good, man. Really fucking good. I'm having a good night. I was just working on Christmas songs, you guys. Well, a Christmas song. The 6th Christmas song for Christmas Tape 3. Earlier today, I was trying to get some artwork shit hammered away. I made a post on Facebook that got a whole bunch of fucking leeches all over it, goddamn graphic design leeches and snakes all slithering through the comments section. I didn't hashtag anything in this, mind you, but all goddamn these robots and weird creepy crawly motherfuckers are all in my DMs and shit. But yeah, I got some new logo designs in the works. New album cover, for Christmas Tape 3 coming. So check that shit out. I'm really excited about the Christmas songs I got bumping this year. Have you checked out the Mount Westmore single? I fucking sure have, I and Co. Dude, I listened to that. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. I guess I'm kind of bunny hopping my subject, but that's okay. I watched Snoop Dogg on Joe Rogan. By the way, if you guys have not seen that, check that out. If you're a Snoop Dogg fan or a West Coast rap music fan or just a fan of rap music in general, it's a fucking great interview. But yeah, Snoop Dogg was playing new fucking songs. And that Mount Westmore single was one of the songs and videos he played. I love that song. That is a great fucking song. Made me really hype for, like a fucking legit West Coast rap single to be fucking actually in the stratosphere. That's dope as fuck. It's super. We doing that Drug Rats Christmas collaboration? Oh shit. Yeah. If you guys want to do some sort of Christmas shit, like that's definitely doable. I got Christmas songs on deck, so we can definitely do something or do something new. I'm kind of getting tapped out with Christmas subjects, so let's talk about that quick. Hey, no worries, Injustice Studios, Niffer. It's no problem. We'll just have to set up a time. You're in the local area, so we can set up something to get together, and I can sit down and show you a few things. Work out some rhymes over a beat or something. ICP is indeed still gathering in 2022, my guy. It's going to be the gathering of dreams. At least that's what we're being told and sold. So we'll see about that. I sure hope they fucking gather. You never know with this crazy world and how stuff's turning out. So, but my money is on gathering. Boy, that Fago hit me different. I almost ended up burping that boy up. All right, so let's get into some more shit that I've been. Oh, so actually, that Snoop on Joe Rogan was going to be my next subject. So boy, that worked out great. So in a couple of things I've been watching. I've been actually watching some things for once, consuming some media. And in addition to watching Snoop on Joe Rogan, I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring Season 3 a little bit. I started that last week. Actually, Thursday of last week before going to Camp Zool, and low-key kind of while driving to Camp Zool, or to Ohio to pick up Emily. Shouts out Emily, by the way, accompanying me to Camp Zool, being my date to Camp Zool, so I don't have to go to this horrorcore sausage fest alone. Boy, we're going to get to that. So yeah, I was watching some Dark Side of the Ring. I watched the Brian Pillman episodes. Really fucking good stuff, man. Some of the best episodes right there. And then my favorite episode, maybe that Dark Side of the Ring. I've been thinking about this. That maybe Dark Side of the Ring has done thus far. Nick motherfucking Gage. I watched the Nick Gage episode, and boy, I've just really been geeking on that. I watched it with Emily, and then I came home and watched it with Jessica. I've seen that shit twice now, and Nick Gage is such a fascinating individual in the world of pro wrestling, and yeah, shouts out to my homie Kosuke for really putting me on with this GCW shit and fucking showing me Nick and showing me a GCW show, the one with Matt Cardona. It's fucking fresh. Yo, deathmatch wrestling is low key on the rise right now, and it's all because of Nick Gage and GCW. If you guys haven't seen this fucking documentary though, this man went through some fucking shit. There's the click. This man went through some fucking shit in his life. And I don't want to spoil too much. You can find out stuff about Nick Gage by goddamn going on his Wikipedia. But I think it's better if you don't know too much about him and you watch this episode. So that's why I don't want to even say anything about it, because I knew a little bit about Nick Gage, but there was a couple of things in there I did not know. So without spoiling it too much, check that shit out, because it was some of the most fascinating piece of documentary content I've consumed in a fucking hot minute. And I'm saying, I think it is my favorite episode of Dark Side of the Ring so far. That right up there with that New Jack episode and the more sad ones, which I really, unfortunately, really like the tragic sad ones, like the Benoit and the Owen Hart one. I think was my favorite one from before. The Owen Hart episode is excellent. Hell yeah! I hope you do go, my man Niffer. Everybody's welcome at that gathering of the Juggalos, so please come out. 15 minutes late. What I missed? What's up, Wakanda? You didn't miss too much, my guy. What did he miss? I can go. Let's go back into my notes. Let's go back in time, and we'll tell him what we missed. Let's do that. I told people that Drake and Kanye squashed their beef. Wakanda. Oh yeah. I was talking some Nick Gage shit. You kind of missed me talking a little bit about Nick Gage. MDK all fucking day. Yeah, Wakanda knows what he. Big fucking wrestling Mark wrestling fan, Wakanda there. So he definitely knows about that Dark Side of the Ring. Yeah, I was just talking a little Dark Side of the Ring shit. Yeah, man, I'm fucking loving that Nick Gage episode. Really put Nick Gage over hardcore. Like, I already was a fan of the dude, but goddamn, I'm that much more of a fan after watching that Dark Side of the Ring shit. But yeah, you didn't really miss much, man. We're just getting warmed up. I talked about my turkey drive show in Rutland, Vermont. You gonna come out to that shit, Wakanda? I hope to see you there, man. I hope you come through that door with a fucking turkey in your hand. That'd be so fucking dope. In your hand, and just holding it, like it's your fucking your homies, like I don't know, what the fuck am I ranting about? Anyway, so I've been watching Dark Side of the Ring, and enjoying that. Yeah, season 3. So yeah, catching up on that shit. The other thing I've been watching is on Netflix. I've been watching this show. I started it like a fucking year and a half ago. A show called I Am a Killer. That's really fucking fascinating. Basically, it takes I think all of these motherfucking episodes are in Texas. So they basically takes an inmate that's on death row in Texas, and they sit down and kind of go through their case with the killer. They interview the killer first, and then they kind of go around and interview family members of the victim, of the killer, of people related to the case, witnesses maybe if there were. And then they go back to the killer and they're kind of showing people the interviews and shit and getting reactions. Really fucking fascinating show, and interesting insight, because you're talking to the killer about his crime, and a lot of times they're very far removed from their crimes. And yeah, it's just fucking interesting show, and on crime and shit. He has the best introduction in the wrestling world. Fucking right, man. The way he comes out is so fucking dope. Yeah, I love how hype, like at that Cardona show when he can't. That was the first one I saw, and like saw him come out with the fucking crazy. I mean, that fucking, they were so hype to see him. You know what I mean? Like that was their hero, and they were like just jumping on him, and like you couldn't even see him for a second because they're just all over him. Yeah, yeah. Shouts out to fucking Nick fucking Gage, man. But I will say, the way he talks in that documentary, that dude 100% is going to kill himself in the ring. Like, we're going to see some fucking G.G. Allen crazy punk rock fucking shit with that dude, I feel like. I feel like the end of the Nick Gage story is going to be fucking brutal and in the ring. The announcer introduction. Oh, word. Yeah, his whole spiel. Shouts out to the cell block and all that shit. My motherfucker's locked down. All that shit. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. That shit is that shit is fresh as fuck, dude. I love his persona, man, Wakanda. He's like just the way he is, you know. If you guys haven't seen or heard, I guess, on the Chris Jericho podcast, go listen to Nick Gage on the Chris Jericho podcast, because it's like, you know, more of a raw, unedited version of him, and I just love the way that dude talks. Like, that's just a real motherfucker, man. Shouts out to fucking Nick Gage, man. He's the shit. So yeah, I've been watching I'm a Killer. Been enjoying that I'm a Killer show. Probably gonna keep watching that. Really good documentary show, good crime show. So now we're gonna get into some spicy stuff with Mikey Clark, giving Yum Yum Bedlam props. How dare he wait so long to give props? What's the matter with that man? Man, this Juggalo YouTube shit is really funny, man. I'll tell you. A lot of motherfuckers get this shit all twisted up and report on shit all fucked up and wrong, when all you gotta do is just go to Twitter and read the goddamn tweet. Like, literally the shit's there. We're gonna get into that with some buckshot shit later too. White New Jack. I just gotta go back and say that Whoopconda called Nick Gage the White New Jack up in this bitch. That's so fucking fresh. That shit's it's hard as fuck, dude. Shouts out to my homie, motherfucking Odious. Kosuke played me a new fucking track from Odious called Nutsack. That's completely New Jack inspired, and that shit is so fucking fresh and so fucking hard. And we're gonna put that in the fucking the secret project, I think, that we're working on right now. God damn, I can't wait for y'all to hear fucking Nutsack. That shit is so fucking hard. What? Isn't there a horrorcore fucking lyric that's like, that makes my nutsack hard? Who the fuck says it makes my nutsack hard? God damn it. That shit makes my nutsack hard. Is that an ICP shit? God damn it, I can't remember who says it makes my nutsack hard. I think that's a Shaggy lyric, isn't it? My cup is down here, Mr. Izza. You happy now? Pretty fancy. It's the same one from before. I didn't even wash it. Left it right here on the floor. That's right. I did go to Camp Zool. We're going to get to that. I have a whole bunch of stuff to say about Camp Zool. I was in attendance at Camp Zool both nights, though. We about to get to that. I want to talk about a few more things, though. So Mikey Clark gave props to goddamn Yum Yum Bedlam. Shout out to ICP! Exclamation point. Yum Yum Bedlam, in parentheses, new album, which I found that a little odd. There's some weird punctuation shit with this tweet. Here Comes the Carnival joint is dope. Def fave track. Props to Kuma, on point. Happy rosy cheek smiley face. Also love the video for Wretched. Is dope as fuck. Would love to hear 2 dope verses. Space exclamation point. Maybe a remix, question mark? Good shit, Mad Clown Love. Heart. And so after that, someone did ask Mike about working on the 6 Jokers card, which, by the way, in case you guys didn't know, the 6 Jokers card is going to be the Wraith Shangri-La again, or at least the Wraith. They've said that in an interview, so I think we're actually getting 2 Jokers cards again for the 6, because I think the plan, they did say it was the Wraith and Hell's Pit again, I believe. They're going to do the whole, another exhibit of each again for y'all. So yeah, once again, remember that I'm the one keep talking about this, because they already talked about it. I wish I could remember if it was on a Patreon or one of the seminars. If y'all know where the fuck they said this, because I'm fucking so positive they did say that the 6th for the 2nd deck was going to be Shangri-La again. Oh, someone's giving me ends here. Just checked out Halloween Tape 4 last night. It was fire. I checked out with a friend. I think he added you on Facebook after. Oh, that's what's up. Was that's that other Juggalo, I think, in Bellows Falls, right? Yes, yes, you're getting shouts out to juggalos in the area, man. I'm finding out there's more juggalos in this area. Is it bad if I go to sleep to sounds of my own screams and then wake up to sounds of my own screams? Um, no, that's not bad. It's good. It's healthy. Um, give grandma give grandma her cup. Give grandma her cup back, fam. Oh, that's fresh as fuck. You don't like my grandma cup, Captain Flannel? I think it's pretty fresh. That was a Shaggy line, right? It makes my nutsack hard. Fuck, man, that Shaggy Tudo be coming with some crazy shit. Can I just say, there's a Shaggy Tudo line that I'd love to ask him about, where he says get chased out by the booty hole bug. I believe it's in Get Off Me Dog, right? I think it's on Get Off Me Dog. But I would love to ask him about getting chased out by the booty hole bug. Um, that shit is interesting to me. Uh, uh, well, all right, then. All right then. So I'm gonna take that as my cue to keep going, catching up with stuff. So yeah, Mike Clark was asked though about working on the 6th. And he did say he was planning on working on the 6th. He actually kind of said it in a way like he will be on that bitch, which is, good. That's good. If you guys don't know, a lot of people got really really pissy about Mikey Clark working with Zool, which, I think that's dope as fuck that Mikey Clark is even working again. I think that's the takeaway you should be having from this is like Mikey Clark is out of his seemingly years long rut that he was in, and he finally got his equipment set up. Shouts out to Mikey Clark on that podcast he was on where he was talking about getting his equipment to the happy spot or whatever the fuck. Anyway, so he since has deleted that reply to that question though. That shit is not there anymore where he said he was going to be working on the 6th. So I thought that was notable to bring up and talk about. I'll reckon the place to be. Whoop whoop, my guy. 2 scoops of whoops to you, my guy. So yeah, that was the Mikey Clark shit. Yeah, he deleted that tweet. I found that really interesting. He deleted that tweet though. Mikey Clark missed the last 6th. He was not on the last 6th. Let's make sure that shit does happen this time, especially if Mikey Clark's gonna be working anyway. Let's make sure we at least get some Mikey Clark on the fucking this next 6th, especially if we're gonna be doing some Shangri-La shit. How fucking dope would it be if the Wraith Shangri-La Deck 2 is finally got some Mikey Clark fucking vibes to it? I think that would be fresh as fuck. What are your thoughts on joining a rap group? I've been in sort of pseudo rap groups before. I'm not. Are you talking about me? Like I'm not against doing rap groups. Low-key kind of have a project going right now that's kind of a rap group, but we're not talking too much about it right now. Shouts out Kosuke and Odious. We kind of have something going right now. What's good? Whoop whoop. Checked out your music's pretty dope. Hell yeah! Thank you, fucking DC420. By the way, I do make music. Go check that shit out on Spotify, Apple Music, all your streaming gimmicks. Or send me money. And buy the CDs. That would be fresh as fuck. I have CDs for sale. Yo, peep this idea. We get camps at M&E and Zool, then we get some 17%ers, first deckers, and start our own festival called Bury the Hatchet. Well, with all of those motherfuckers, I mean, I'm down. I'm down for that, dude. That would be fucking... at a certain point, though, we're getting to the point where we're just doing all these different camping fests. Shouldn't we just have the motherfucking gathering be the Bury the Hatchet festival? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just wish we could just... Can't we all get along? That's something I want to talk about a little bit here is like, I'm not going to fucking be dogging on Twisted on this shit anymore. Unless they be doing some outlandish shit like that fucking Outshine track and shit. I'm not going to be trying to dog on Twisted on here anymore. I'm going to actually be trying to push for motherfuckers to get back together. And like, let's try to fix this shit. I know it's a long shot at this point, especially after the shit in that booklet, but yeah, what Whoop Conda said, end the fucking beef. Where can I buy a CD? You can go on to my humbleamong.bandcamp.com, or you can hit me up directly, DC420, and we can work out a little deal ski, you know what I mean, and get rid of those fucking Bandcamp fees. But yeah, $17 a piece off of that Bandcamp, I can do you a better deal if you just hit me up. Yeah. Hit me up. Trick or Treat is a dope track. My good ninja, great job. Keep grinding, homie. I will, man. Thank you for fucking peeping that shit, man. That's Trick or Treat is on the Drug Rats Halloween compilation. If you guys haven't peeped that shit, go check that out. There's a lot of dope fucking artists on that compilation. Shouts out fucking Clockwork a lot of motherfuckers. I recently had an idea about a group where a gimmick is hacker clowns. I mean, that's definitely something you could definitely approach, my man. You can do anything with music. That's what's beautiful about art. You can do anything you want. Let's see. So I talked about Mikey Clark. Yeah, I think it's fresh that Mikey Clark is working with Zool. So I might as well talk about this here instead of later. Mikey Clark and Zool, Zool at Camp Zool. All this Zool talk. Ala Zool Alu at Camp Zool did say that they are working with Mikey Clark for 13 songs on this record, this Mikey Clark record, and that one of the songs is, I think they said 15 years old. So yeah, that's pretty fresh. We get a full album of Mikey Clark and Zool. I have some Tom McDonald news, you guys. Not a Tom McDonald fan. Don't get the shit twisted. Tom McDonald put out a new song called Balloons that completely bites the cover for Shaggy 2 Dope's Gloomy Sunday. That's the only reason I'm bringing this up, because it's a complete bite with the balloon floating, hanging Shaggy gimmick. Complete bite. Very egregious. The root beer, folks. Making me boip. So, shouts out to Tom McDonald, coming with the freshness, coming with the fresh original shit. Low key, I still think Tom McDonald's whole gimmick is a fucking troll. I could be wrong. He could be that big of a piece of shit. But yeah, I kind of think that motherfucker's a troll. Buckshot. Let's talk about that Buckshot tweet. That motherfuckers, I guess motherfuckers just can't read who be on fucking this Juggalo YouTube shit. I guess you guys have really trouble with screen capping on notes and just fucking reading the shit directly. Yeah, you could just do that. It's not that fucking hard, you guys. So Buckshot did this tweet and motherfuckers got it all twisted up and out of context. When this scene, quote unquote, is completely tanked out and out of fuel in the next 5 to 8 years, all you weak mofos who keep pushing your beef, quote unquote, agendas between each other, go ahead and pat yourselves on the back, because it'll be all your fault. Yes, you're slowly killing off your own scene. And I know where he's coming from, because, you know, if you keep dividing the fan base, you're going to end up with fucking nothing, because you just kept dividing it. It's gonna die if you keep dividing it. So that's kind of where he's coming from. I know where he's coming from with that. He's not necessarily wrong, but I don't think this shit's really ever going to die. I mean, there's always going to be pockets of this shit, even if you completely divide it up. Especially the Juggalo, the real Juggalo fucking aspect of it. That shit's not going to fucking die. Wicked clowns never die. The wicked shit never fucking dies. But yeah, so he had some responses to that shit where he was, you know, it's wild to me how many times I've seen people take this exact tweet completely out of context. People are saying I said Juggalos and ICP will be dead in 5 to 8 years. People are kind of treating it like that. Never said either of those words. If you're too dumb to read or understand my tweets, then don't read them. You know, shouts out to Buckshot. We're going to talk about Buckshot when we get to Camp Zool. Buckshot's a dope dude, man. So I just want to shout out Buckshot. And while I'm on my rant, let's see. Yeah, he had some more shit to say, but it's not even really worth reading. Those two were the ones I felt that were worth reading. So shouts out to Buckshot for, you know, just honestly, I felt like he was just trying to stand up and, you know, basically say end this fucking beef already. What up, Spanky? Spanky Payne in the fucking house. It's kind of an NF gimmick as well. Interesting. Gotta peace out, man. Whoop whoop and peace out. Peace and love to all in the stream. Hey, shouts out to Injustice Studios, aka Lil Niffer, for tuning in. Hope you have a good one, my guy. Yeah, hit me up and I'll give you rap lessons. um, let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to, I basically touched on this, but motherfuckers reporting on, quote unquote, reporting on this kind of shit, just do better. Like, you motherfuckers aren't doing shit from what I can tell. Like, just, do better. Like, yeah. Motherfuckers be not really trying, I guess, like, with this shit, or at all. So shouts out to all the Juff News channels out there. Keep it real fake. We see you. So now we're going to talk about Camp Zool. Yeah. So I went to Ohio on Thursday after work. Drove there directly to be with my homegirl, Emily. And then on Friday morning, we drove to Williamsburg/Hamersville. My cottage was actually in Hamersville, which was like a fucking 10-15 minute drive away from Williamsburg, where Terrortown was located. I stayed in a little cottage behind a softball field. Yeah, that's right. Had a little fucking lake and shit. But it was so fucking close. It was the closest Airbnb I could find to Terrortown. I think it was closer than even any hotels that I could find to Terrortown. So try to just get, whenever I'm doing these things, I try to get the closest option I can possibly get. So yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. So Friday we showed up for check-in like around, it was 3 o'clock check-in. We got there a little bit late, around 3:30. We, got ready and we didn't get out there until it was like after dark already. So I missed all the fucking second stage motherfuckers. It was raining. Before we even went out there, it started raining. So I was already a little bit like, oh shit, what are we gonna get? What are we gonna have here? And let me just go ahead and mention, if you've seen the streams leading up to this, I've been, since motherfucking Camp Zool got announced, I've been saying, yo, what's the logistics of doing a outdoor camping festival in November in Ohio? Doesn't it get cold in Ohio in November? I know it gets cold in Vermont in November. And sure enough, it was cold as fucking a witch's tit out there, to use a wicked shit comparison. Yeah, really fucking cold out there. So we went out there bundled up, or at least I did. Emily went out pseudo bundled up. Shouts out to my ass for bringing extra fucking shit for her to get fucking wrapped up in, especially that second night. So it was rainy. It was kind of starting to snow a little bit at times. We pulled up and it was already kind of a mud pit starting to go on in the parking lot. Thankfully, the parking lot situation wasn't too crowded. I'm not trying to dog on them, but it wasn't too crowded. There was maybe 100 to 200 people tops at Camp Zool, from what I can tell. Just my estimation. I was there both days. Very light security. I think there was 1 or 2 police officers who kind of just hung around the entrance and did little walk-arounds. They were pretty cool. I saw them bust someone's balls for huffing a balloon at one point, but they were basically like, it was actually a really funny interaction. There was a dude with a fucking balloon in his hand, and the cop went up and was like, yo, I've been seeing you do this like all night, man. Like, I can't let you just keep doing this. And it's like, the kid's friend who didn't have the balloon was like, yo, just huff it, man. And the cop's like, no, you can't do that, because the dude with the balloon like couldn't figure out what to do with the balloon. And then he very comically threw the balloon into the trash, where it went and did its funny balloon thing and didn't really go in the trash. And it was hilarious. I enjoyed that moment. Shouts out to that kid who had to throw his balloon comically away like that. So yeah, this security was very light. From what I could tell, the security was just those 2 cops, unless there was some motherfuckers in Camp Zool jackets that were supposed to be security as well. There's supposed to be a lot more food vendors at this motherfucker, at least according to the Terrortown website. There was like 5 or 6 motherfucking food vendors listed on that, and they didn't allow any outside food or drink. Very strict about that, or maybe not so strict because you probably could have just walked in with that shit. They weren't really searching anything. You could have just walked in with any backpack full of shit that you wanted. And in fact, I'll even rat myself out. I walked in with a bottle of water in my pocket. That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's right. What are you gonna do about that, Zool? You gonna fucking come for me, huh? For my $3 or Terror Town? You can come for me, Terror Town, for my $3. Um, anyway, so we got there after dark, and the second stage was already over, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there, bringing up the second stage. I'm not sure there was really a need for a second stage because it seemed like a lot of times when shit was going on in the second stage, there maybe wasn't anything going on in the main stage. So maybe just have this main stage rocking the whole day. I don't know, just a fucking thought. It seemed unnecessary to me to have a second stage when you could have just had everybody on that main stage. The main stage luckily was inside. By the way, Terror Town is like a Wild West town, horror town exhibit type of thing. Like a haunted house, but it's a fucking Western town, basically. With a bunch of actors who are kind of walking around and lightly fucking with you. And if you had a yellow glowing wristband on, they would more heavily fuck with you. And I saw some people getting their face put in mud puddles and shit. I heard about people drinking toilet water. Saw some people running around screaming, getting chased. One of the funniest moments of the whole weekend was when Scum and Insane Poetry were on stage. And this happened. Someone basically ran in and chased someone out. One of the actors was chasing someone with a bracelet. And Insane Poetry at the end of his song was like, yo, what the fuck was that? That was beef. And Scum's like, what? He's like, that looked like beef to me. Shouts out to fucking Insane Poetry for that moment. I loved that moment. I did not sneak Cotton Candy Fago in, Emily, ratting me out in the chat. I think you did that. How dare you? Or did I do that? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I did do that. All right, I might have snuck a Cotton Candy Fago in. All right. So shoot me. But I did it for you, Emily. I snuck it in for you. So sue me. So studio. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing tonight? Okay. We need to get focused and stay on point with these notes and finish this shit out. Not sure there was a need for a second stage. Main stage was inside. I'm just reading my notes. They moved around, let's see. I'm literally just reading my notes now. Let's see. So there was like the second stage and the main stage thing. There did seem to be like they were moving some artists from that second stage to the main stage for a lot of it. I did do it, didn't I? So I believe, I could be wrong now. I missed a lot of artists, but I believe Light didn't perform. Am I wrong? Is anyone that was there in the chat? Probably not. There's only like 200 people there. But I don't think, now I know Straight Jacket straight up wasn't there because he had COVID. But I don't think Light was there. I was there and I was trying to catch Light's set. I did not catch Light's set. I could have just missed it. I could have, because we were going back and forth to the car quite a bit to fucking warm up because it was cold as shit. It was the first year at Camp Zool. Yeah, that's correct. They probably got to get used to all the variables at festival and iron their shit out. They definitely do. And I think they will too. I think they're on a fucking a fast track to getting this shit good and going. Oh, I mean, hey, I'm not trying to hate on this shit. I went to Camp Zool, you know what I mean? But I am gonna be honest about this shit. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. I'm gonna report on it the way I saw it, you know what I mean? Let's see. No Straight Jacket, no Light. The actors walking around. That's what I wanted to talk about. So there's these fucking fresh ass actors who are walking around trying to fuck with you. Some of them are being chased. The people with the bracelets are being chased. And you know, ended up being one of my favorite parts about this thing is sort of like these actors are trying to fuck with you, and I'm just, you know, I want to play into it. I want to like yes and please let's continue. But maybe I'm a little bit too much of an eager beaver when it comes to some of these things, because I think at least the guppy fella, the fella with the there's a fella with a bumpy face mask who was kind of walking around being like, "Have you seen my guppy? Where's my guppy? Have you seen my guppy?" And I was like, "Nah, bro, I haven't seen your guppy. I just kind of got here because I literally just walked in and this guppy fella started talking to me. I haven't seen your guppy, but I'll keep an eye out for it. And I hope you find your guppy." And I think he was a little thrown off by that, but I was not freaked out at all by him. But I'm walking into a place where motherfuckers are wearing Zool masks like left and right, and like fucking like yeah, you're gonna be seeing some weird fucking masks and shit, bro. So shouts out to fucking Javier, by the way, one of the stranger character actors that were walking around, who I talked to a little bit and actually seemed to yes and with me a little bit more. He was fun. Shouts out to Javier. Um, okay. Oh yeah, the food vendor thing. So there was only two food vendors from what I can tell. With that whole setup, not the five that were advertised. There could have been more hidden around there that I couldn't find because they were just kind of like tucked in these little buildings and shit. And one of them was open very sporadically. The other one seemed to be kind of open almost all the time. Um, yeah, but very, very kind of, low quality food from what I can tell. I didn't go to the other food vendor. The other one looked like they had a little bit higher level of food, but I went to the shittier food vendor, basically. Uh, so yeah. But yeah, shouts out to what Roselle said in the chat. They're going to get their shit figured out with this. There's definitely some bones with the setup, though. Mostly the cold, though. I think the thing they have to overcome is the fucking cold, because I think that brought a lot of their problems. I was talking with some of the other vendors, because there were some vendors selling wares there, like spooky wares, walking sticks, prosthetic limbs, and cut off heads and shit like that. I was talking with one of those people, and they were kind of explaining to me that the food vendor situation was, and maybe some of the artists applied to this too. I don't know if there was other artists who dipped out, because I didn't see everybody, like I said. But some of the vendors not showing up was definitely because of the cold, and them thinking that it was going to be low attendance strictly because of the cold. So there was a bit of that vibe, I guess, maybe going around Terror Town anyway. Like, how is this going to be because of this cold weather? Let's see. It seemed like vibes were pretty tame, just because maybe once again the cold. Like, motherfuckers were definitely getting fucking drunk and lit in that bitch. Definitely were mosh pits jumping off in that bitch. But overall, just kind of a chill vibe. Not a super crazy party vibe. Buttholes are definitely not getting whipped out. No fireworks, no firecrackers or whatever the fuck were in there. So definitely a little bit more tame, not like a fucking gathering type vibe. Too cold. Once again, it's just gonna keep going back. It's too cold. Let's see. This was my first M&E / Zool event. Never been to an M&E style event before, so this was the first time. Didn't know anybody there. Did recognize a few rappers who I'm friends with on Facebook or something, that were in attendance. But I didn't really know anybody like that. I did see a fella. Shouts out to Joker. There's a million Jokers at a Juggalo event, but shouts out to the dude Joker, who I talked to at the gathering and then talked to at Camp Zool. Joker, aka Andy Dick, right, Emily? Yeah, no buttholes, man. People might have been whipping them out, but yeah, like I said, I think it was too cold. But definitely no buttholes. Hardly any whooping. But like I said, this is like an M&E event. So the homie Joker at one point actually walked in and he was like whoop whoop, real fucking loud. Not like I just did it. Did a real loud boy, real loud whoop whoop. The bellowing one that you do when you walk into a room. You know what I mean, Juggalos. But he kind of looked. He was next to me. He's kind of looked at me. He's like, "Man, I don't give a fuck. They can fuck me up if they want." I'm like, "Man, I don't think anything like that's gonna happen here. You don't got to worry about that shit." But that was kind of the vibe, maybe, for a little bit more of us psychopathic leaning types that were in attendance. I didn't see hardly any psychopathic merch. There were people rocking some shit. Shouts out to the homegirl with the C17 hat. I saw, I was rocking my C17 pants, you know what I'm saying? So I was definitely, and rocking my Hatchet fucking hoodie. So I was definitely I was repping C17 and the Hatchet in that bitch. Shouts out to all the elevated beanies in attendance too. I'm going to talk about some elevated beanies a little bit later. So no straight jacket, no light, actors walking around, the yellow wristband, the vibes, recognized a few rappers, felt a little bit out of place, but, you know, shouts out to Emily for being with me and making me feel not so awkward. Crowd was a little tame at times this first night. It took a little while for them to get into it, I feel like. The first act I saw on the main stage, I think this was the first act of the main stage, unless I missed some shit, like I said. Like a Villain, who was supposed to play, I believe, on the second stage earlier in the day, so that was kind of my first tip-off that maybe they had moved around some shit. And then after Like a Villain, super famous Fun Time guys go on, which, frankly, I'm not that big of a fan of super famous Fun Time guys. I like their gimmick, I like their look, just not really into the music. Something's missing with the music for me. Not trying to hate on them, just not my style of shit. Then after them, Buckshot came out. Buckshot was dope as hell. First time seeing Buckshot live. I've only kind of dipped into Buckshot's music a little bit here and there, but Buckshot's got a really dope rap voice. Uses his southern sort of twang in his rap voice just the right way, just enough. Really like fucking Buckshot. He said that his he had announced earlier in the week that his aunt had died. Announced, that's not the right fucking way to say it. He had said on Twitter that his aunt had died, and he reiterated that when he came on stage at Zool, and said that he also tore his meniscus in his knee before he even left. So the odds were very stacked against Buckshot to even come. He thought about maybe not coming, but something told him to go, and he did go. So shouts out to Buckshot for being a fucking trooper, man, and still going through that shit. And he said afterwards on Twitter that his knee did completely give out. His meniscus finally fucking tore all the way, so he's got to get surgery now. So shouts out to fucking Buckshot, man, for literally sacrificing his fucking knee, seemingly, to come out and rock for the fucking the crowd at Camp Zool. That was really dope. Let's see. Afterwards, let's see. There was time for Boondocks, who performed in a goddamn COVID mask with his face paint on underneath, which I thought was really kind of weird, and he sounded muffled as fuck because of it. So I don't know. I really wasn't feeling that performance. It was very distracting, the muffled microphone face mask thing. Just to tip the rappers, I don't think you need to do the face mask on stage. If you're worried about sharing a microphone, here's a tip. Bring your own fucking microphone. That's what I do when I perform. I'm not worried about sharing microphones, but I always bring my own microphone anyway because I don't trust the fucking microphone. Let's see. At one point, I looked around and noticed all of the elevated beanies. This was, I believe this was night 1. I noticed it, and I think I said something night 2. Emily, you might have to correct me on that. Secretary, do you know? It could have been night 2. I actually said something about the elevated beanies, but basically, there was a lot of elevated beanies. And if you don't know what I mean by elevated beanie, I mean, like, you know, a stocking cap, you know, a beanie hat, but the style where it's, you know, it's got the reservoir tip, you know, chilling way to fuck up here. You know, so it's like a beanie up, but it's like chilling. So it's got the little, it's fitting the head here, but it goes up to a reservoir tip, like a condom tip, right on the tip of a dick. A lot of motherfuckers rocking the elevated beanies in the place. Shouts out to all the beanie boners. Yes, beanie boners. I noticed then said something night 1. Okay, so I did say something night 1. But yeah, that was tickling me. I did really because it would be like I literally would look around and it'd just be like so many fucking elevated beanies. Um, all right, so Boondocks went off, and then it was time for. Oh, and shouts out to the dude who was hosting the stage. I saw his name on Facebook. I'm spacing on the homie's name now. But the first night he hosted as Randy Savage, and then the second night he hosted as Hollywood Hulk Hogan. I thought that was fresh. Did decent impressions of both of them, and I appreciated the tinge of wrestling flavor being thrown into the festivities. So yeah, shouts out to that homeboy. I appreciated it. So after that, it was time for Axe. They went on and were dope as fuck. I really enjoyed Axe's set. Never seen them live before. They deliver a very old school style hip hop performance where, you know, it's all of them backing each other up, you know, screaming their shit real fucking loud when it's time to hit the fucking words that rhyme, you know what I mean? But that shit comes off hard as fuck. It gives it so much power when they do it right, when they're really hitting, all three of them are hitting those fucking syllables at the same time. It's so fucking powerful. So that was dope to see in person. Joe Black came out in a skirt. Billy Obey botched a few songs, which I wrote on Twitter. Kind of funny that Billy Obey is following in Violent J's footsteps that hard that he's botching songs nowadays. But I kid both Billy Obey and Violent J. It's all in good fun. Lee Carver had a really dope speech at the end where he talked about this being about unity and not about division. And I thought that was a really dope way to cap off the night. But the shit was done before 12. And seemingly nothing going on. We hung out for a little while to wait for stuff to go on. There was a movie being shown sort of in this little, tucked away in this little side area. They were showing movies and stuff like that. We thought about maybe going in there and watching stuff. I was kind of waiting to see if Karaoke ever popped off. I think we saw some Karaoke at one point, but there was very little Karaoke going on. I don't know if maybe just because motherfuckers didn't want to do Karaoke, that shit wasn't going on. But I was kind of disappointed and didn't see any of that. I didn't end up going on the trail because basically we were like, fuck this shit, let's go home. It's too cold. So I don't know what much of the nighttime festivities were like. I didn't go on the trail, so I can't talk about the trail. I did hear some stories about that shit though, and it sounded wild, especially if you were wearing the bracelets. Like they really fucked with some of those people, pretty hard. We did not put bracelets on, by the way. We were way too pussy to do that. Because they were fucking with people pretty heavy with the bracelets. They were dragging motherfuckers out. They were literally dragging motherfuckers out of there into the mud. Like, quite literally doing that shit. So, shouts out to them for being that rough with motherfuckers and going that crazy. Because I think there were a few people that it got to be a little too much for. So, that was fresh. Got too cold, went back to the cottage. Night 2. We tried to go out in the day, this time as early as we could to experience some shit. I think we got there around 3 o'clock, 3:30, somewhere around there. Very little going on. Once again, there's very little going on at this point. Main stage was supposed to be popping off, but it seems like nothing was going on. We hung around waiting for main stage to go off, and nothing seemed to be going on, so we went and we weren't going to be fucking with their food again. There was only that one shitty food option, the shittier food option open. So we were like, fuck this, let's go find some food. We went and got some food, came back. Finally caught someone on the second stage. We saw Donnie Menace on the second stage. Let's see. At some point in that second day, I did find the homeboy Joker and talk to him in the morning. He told me about the night. Now, when we were going to leave night 1, mind you, it was still raining, and that rain was turning to snow. And shouts out to whoever was in the fucking limo trying to leave that bitch the same time we were trying to leave. Who the fuck rented a limo for this shit? That shit was a little pretentious. I don't know who the fuck rented a limo for this shit. But Jesus fucking Christ. I thought that was a little pretentious, I have to be honest with you. But that shit was muddy as fuck. It was rainy, really cold. And I'm thinking, as we're going to leave, like, yo, it's going to be raining all night. this temperature is going to drop. It's those tents out there, if there are tents out there, it was too dark to even see if there were tents out there. Those tents are going to be fucking just covered in ice. And sure enough, the second day when I was talking to Joker, he told me he went and he stayed in his car for the night. He passed out in his car because it was just so fucking cold. He slept in his car. But then at some point, he woke up in the middle of the night and decided, okay, I'm going to go to my tent. Went and he unzipped his tent, all ice. Just completely a sheet of ice over everything in his fucking tent. So I don't know if any ninjas actually did sleep in their fucking tents out there, but he did say a lot of people were packing up tents and just being like, fuck this, and got hotels. Which, like I said, I can't imagine it was, I don't know how anyone was sleeping out there. If you did sleep out at Camp Zoo, I would love to talk to you about that. Maybe get you on the stream to talk about that. I got some questions. How the fuck you did it, basically. Because it was cold as fuck. Once again, you're going to hear me say the phrase cold as fuck probably a lot. We walked around some of the shops in town. Emily got some wares, some magic potions for her roommate Emily. Yeah, some interesting stuff. Like I said, there were some walking sticks, some prosthetic gimmicks, cut off heads and shit like that. Some like horror movie style props being sold. A lot of arts and crafts type of stuff as well. All in these little, excuse me, the Fago. All of these little Wild West shops and stuff all had these vendors in them, which was a cool concept. Let's see. Joker sleeping in his car. Got some food. Saw Donnie Menace. Okay, I think I'm caught up now. So there's nothing on the main stage while Donnie Menace is rocking the secondary stage. As far as I know, there was nothing going on. So I just don't understand why the second stage was there. It really felt unnecessary to me. Let's see. So the main stage, we were going back and forth to the car. We definitely went to the car, and when we came back, the main stage stuff was going on, and we had missed Sky Swamp Orange. And Fams and the Hooligans was the first that we saw on that second stage. Pretty hilarious. The mosh pit's going pretty heavy during that point, and there was a pretty hilarious situation in the mosh pit that me and Emily we were laughing at. The mosh pit was going really healthy for like the first 4 songs, and then there was a situation where the guy was like, all right, this next song is for the ladies out there, so if you got a lady with you, grind up on her. And promptly the mosh pit shit stopped. They were not about touching each other during the song for the ladies, which I was just like, that's so fucking funny. So shouts out to that mosh pit. That cracked me up something fierce. I had a good time laughing. Not that there's anything funny about the gentlemen in that mosh pit. The gentlemen in that mosh pit were holding their own indeed, but there was just something so funny about them stopping moshing for that song, because it might be considered sus, if you will. And so after that, there was an emotional song where they reluctantly did not mosh again. And then there was finally a song where they brought out some blow-up dolls and threw them into the crowd. And boy, did they mosh hard for the blow-up dolls and tore those facades of women apart. After Fams and the Hooligans, shouts out to Fams and the Hooligans, by the way. I was super impressed by them and their whole setup, and their fucking merch game is very much on point. Their merch is very recognizable because they do this black and white split down the middle thing, and they have this Fresh 26 logo that's very recognizable. So props to Fams and the Hooligans for being very on point with everything they do. I was digging their shit. They definitely got the crowd moving, like I said. But afterwards, one of those poor inflatable women were on the floor, and Emily noticed that she was over there all alone. And Emily was like, "No one's gonna take that. No one's gonna take her." And I was like, "Nah, go get her." And Emily went and fucking grabbed her. And so Emily's walking around with this half blown up woman who she named Barb, and it was so fucking funny to me because immediately, because Emily now has this blow-up doll, men are comfortable to approach her and start to sort of hit on Emily via the blow-up doll. And like 3 dudes in a row did this. Thought that they were probably original and smooth with the shit. Emily said in the chat she's eating dinner with Barb right now. Shouts out to Barb. Um, but one dude came up and was like, "Who's your friend?" That was the opening line for all of the dudes. Who's your friend? And Emily quickly came up with the name Barb. And is she taken? And Emily was like, "Oh, she's actually part of a thruple," and then kind of pointed to all 3 of us. So that was funny as fuck. Shouts out to Emily for being hilarious like that. Let's see. By the way, she was part of a thruple. What the fuck am I saying? There's no joke there. Me and that blow up doll had a good time. Not really. The blow up doll stayed in the car. I don't get any spicy stories about a blow up doll. So after them, super famous fun time guys came on stage again. Once again, nothing against those guys, just not really into it. I really like their gimmick. I think their gimmick is dope. I think their look is dope. Just not into the music. It just doesn't hit for me. Scum came on after that, and they did a Make My Motherfucking Day set with Insane Poetry, and a whole bunch of LSP guests came out. Pretty cool. I like Scum's music, so it was dope to see him live. Dope as fuck to see Insane Poetry live. Insane Poetry was low-key killing that shit, holding it down. This low-key was almost an Insane Poetry performance. Almost, I mean, is Make My Motherfucking Day set, so I guess that makes sense, right, guys? That it would be just as much a Insane Poetry performance. So then after that was Slasher Dave, and Slasher Dave was my favorite thing I saw at all of Camp Zool. Missed the first half of it because we were in the car trying to warm up, but when we came back, Slasher Dave was killing that shit. So Slasher Dave, if you don't know, produced all of Mausoleum, I believe. And he makes his own music. He kind of makes instrumental style, instrumental style horror movie music, but with a little bit more of his own twist on it. And performing live, he's playing a guitar and he's got a drummer with him. And he's got a whole little rig set up, doing some interesting stuff with electronics. And I was really fucking digging it, man. Really enjoyed the vibes, the music, everything about it. Really fucking good. So shouts out to Slasher Dave being my favorite performance at Camp Zool, other than Zool. Probably tied with Zool, honestly. I really enjoyed Slasher Dave that much. I'm definitely going to go and peep some of Slasher Dave's actual music now. Yeah, it's so fucking funny to me because honestly, Mausoleum is my least favorite Zool release. So maybe I have to go and check out Mausoleum again too because Slasher Dave produced all that shit. Blaze came on after Slasher Dave. Blaze was cool to finally see. This was my first time to finally see Blaze, but I have to say, a little bit underwhelming to see Blaze. I was a little underwhelmed. I don't know what quite it was about it. People were into it, but I don't know. I wasn't super fucking into Blaze. And I'm a big Blazy Dead Homie fan. I don't think it was anything Blaze was doing. I think this was maybe on me. Maybe I was just getting a little bit exhausted at that point after, lack of sleep for now like 3 days running. So I was definitely getting tired towards that end of that night. So Axe came out, did their second set of Camp Zool, and I have to say, I don't know if I said this about night one. The first night, they definitely did lighter songs. They did their more fun, comedy, goofier songs. The lighter ones that they have, like Zooligans for Life and Put Them in the Trunk. Really light fare, like putting dead bodies in the trunk. But night two, they definitely, and even leaving night one, they said, get ready for night two because they were going to be doing the wicked shit, or we're going to be doing the dark shit, or something along those lines for night two. And sure enough, they definitely did their more wicked shit, dark shit, more like their anthems, really, for a lot of that night two shit. Crowd was super into it for the second night. Super, super into it. Billy Obey only botched one song that I noticed, so shouts out to Billy Obey, getting better. I love Zool. I'm just fucking around with Zool. Don't get the shit twisted. This is all fun and games, guys. Axe did their darker songs. Let's see. And they were done before midnight again. So this time we were fucking cold as fuck. It was way colder that second night, by the way. Oh, we got some fucking. Oh, we got some weird. We got some nudity shit in here again. Naked HD XYZ online strips without clothing in the chat. Shouts out to you. You troll you. Can I get rid of it from here? Let's see. Blog user on YouTube. Bam. Oh, look at that. I can do that shit from here, you guys. So don't fuck around with Humble Among. I will block you from this chat if you're a fucking robot. Or if you're saying some shit that I do not like in the chat, I will block you. Which I haven't had that problem. Shouts out to you guys for always keeping my chat really chill and not popping off and being weird. I know some motherfuckers got a problem with people in the chat acting crazy. The only person I got acting crazy in my chat is a def, and I love him for it. So shouts out to you for always keeping my chat really chill. And if you keep it crazy, it's like good crazy. Oh shit, guys, my phone's gonna die, I think. Nope, we're good. Time to finish out this boy. I got a few more things to talk about. Let's see. The seminar thing, they did say that the 13 songs with Mikey Clark. Oh, the ICP movie is in theaters as of the 12th. It is playing in more wide, a more wide release. New York City, Cincinnati, a bunch of Los Angeles, a bunch of places around the country. Check your local listings. So if you haven't seen United States of Insanity, go check that out. It's a really good fucking movie. I highly recommend it, even if you're not an Insane Clown Posse fan. It's great. ICP made a post about Nirvana's album Nevermind and the 30th anniversary. Violent J told a really cool story about, I believe it was it Jump Steady or John? Either Jump or John putting the tape in the Jeep. And they were all kind of like, what is this, some rock shit? And Jumper John was like, I think it was John Kick Jazz, was like, yo, this is some different shit, though. This is different rock shit. And Violent J gave it some props. I think that was really cool for Violent J to give Nirvana props. I'm a big Nirvana fan. I like Nevermind a lot, but I like In Utero better. I actually like the Unplugged album probably better than Nevermind at this point. Just because Nevermind's a little played out. Don't get me wrong, I love Nevermind, but it's probably like third favorite at this point. I also want to talk about there not being a merch drop or a proper merch drop since Yum Yum Bedlam merch drop in October. And they still have to do the Missing Link drops and Fearless Fred. And hopefully they would do a Christmas drop too before the end of the year. So they still have enough time to do all of these drops. Let's hope that they do. It was John. Thank you, Ulrich. Thank you for having my back on that one. Violent J tomorrow night is going to be on DJ Clay's Twitch stream. Let's see, the Clay Station, I believe it's called, on Twitch. So tune into that to catch Violent J. I'm definitely going to be trying to catch that for sure, because I'm trying to see any glimpse of my man Violent J that I can see, or the Insane Clown Posse that I can see. Let's see. We're going to talk about ICP on Corey Graves' podcast, After the Bell. And real quick, I just want to talk about the fact that ICP and the WWE/WWF, whatever you want to call it, has not had a very healthy relationship, in so much as WWE doesn't really want to acknowledge them at all. Now, this is a Corey Graves' podcast, but I believe it is very in bed with WWE because the clip on YouTube is on the official WWE YouTube channel. So this is basically the closest thing that we have to WWE finally acknowledging the Wicked Clowns again and talking about the oddities again. Now, I know that there's a big push to get ICP in the WWE Hall of Fame online, and I'm for that shit. I'm for any acknowledgement of the Insane Clown Posse. Just getting props, and any time that they just get props, I'm for that shit. So yeah, let's hope that this is a good sign. a sign of good faith that maybe we get something cool like that, or maybe that we just get ICP involved, maybe not with WWE, but maybe in some more wrestling angles. I certainly would love to see. I said this before. I believe on here. I'd love to see ICP show up in AEW. Shit, I'd love to see them show up in GCW. They can't wrestle themselves. They're both basically retired, but they do have a pretty popular world champ right now in Vampiro. So my pitch is that they show up with Vamp in some of these promotions and have Vamp show up with the goddamn JCW title like he used to in the WCW days. I think that would be fresh as fuck. And have them rep JCW in these other promotions and sort of do a mini invasion angle. I think that would be cool. Let's see. I'm going to talk about this after the bell interview real quick. Just basically going to run through this and really quick thing about the latest Palcast I want to talk about at the end. And then we're going to wrap up because we're already over an hour, folks. So Corey says he was a fan of ICP. Let's see. They really framed this whole podcast around this story of Corey getting dumped, which they saved for the end. But the whole podcast was sort of framed and marketed around the fact that Corey was like dumped after this ICP concert. Talk about that at the end, I guess, though. But I just did. Let's see. Corey said that they're more than just music. They are an experience. Talked about getting into wrestling. ICP talked about getting into wrestling and building the ring in Shaggy's backyard, pounding the railroad ties and wrapping the garden hoses around the railroad ties and all that shit. ICP said, let's see. Jay said that they were backyard wrestling before it was cool. I have to say, Jay sounded kind of sleepy on this fucking podcast. I hope he's okay. Hope he ain't got no fucking relapse shit situation going on. It did sound kind of like Sleepy J though. But motherfucker said he's got insomnia. So I'm hoping, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, but motherfucker sounded sleepy as fuck to me. Talked about wrestling being a huge influence on ICP. Kind of gestured to his face paint even and was like, yo, of course this is like a big influence. Detroit artists having gimmicks, Kid Rock rolling out in the tractor, Esham coming out in the coffin with the 666 shirt. You know, these are a lot of stuff that they've talked about in other interviews. Not a lot of new stuff here, but just want to run it down anyway because I love talking about ICP, talking about things. Talked about how they manifested all of their dreams and specifically their wrestling destiny. Even though they already moved on from wrestling to rap, they had done enough work towards that dream that it still happened anyway, and they still showed up in WWE, WWF. Talked about still wrestling while rapping. Talked about like when they were starting to get famous in Detroit, they were still running indies in the early 90s, running gimmicks, doing their own shows when they were still getting more popular and making some money off of rap music. They started booking and doing their own wrestling shows, and then WWF reaches out for them and they try out for WWF. They talked about all this. Talked about debuting at SummerSlam, painting up in the locker room with Undertaker and Stone Cold. Let's see. And then they apologized. Talked about regretting walking out of Raw that night. Said that AA told them to leave. Their manager told them to leave. And that they walked out the side door instead of going to the ring. Said they really regretted it. Were very thankful and apologized. They actually thanked them too. I hope they get a Hall of Fame spot from kissing that much ass. Because that was, I mean, they were kissing some ass. Talked about going to WCW and meeting Vampiro and Raven and becoming cool as shit with them. Having so much heat in WWF, but everything was cool in WCW. How they had fun in WCW. They felt like they could have fun in WCW. Meeting and wrestling legends like Muta and Eddie Guerrero. Said they had to leave WCW after a few months because it just got to be too much for their schedule. Because they were just showing up on, you know, every Monday and shit. And I think they were even showing up on Thunders and shit. They were showing up anytime that they could, and almost every Monday they were showing up. Talk about how much they like to work indies still. Like, they still show up. I don't know if that's very true these days, but I mean, I know they were supposed to show up for Hornswoggle's thing, and they never did. But I mean, I guess theoretically they still want to do indies. I think that might be a way to float out the idea that they do want to do indies. Like I said, let's get them on GCW. Let's get them on AEW. GCW is basically still an indie, maybe not for long. And AEW, I don't think you can call an indie. But let's get them on both of those boys anyway. I want to see that shit. Co-host gave them a little bit of props for the charitable causes that they do. Shaggy was, very humble with it, saying that they don't do that for ends. They do a lot of stuff that that doesn't even make the media. They do that because it's just the right thing to do. They like to give back. Talked about Juggalos being multiple generational. Jay talked about how the Juggalos just happened. It wasn't in the plans. They talked a little bit about how Jay and Shags just every day talk about how crazy this whole thing is. A little bit of Yum Yum Bedlam talk. Said they put their heart and soul into every Joker's card at this point, and that the Juggalos should know that a Joker's card is basically everything that they got at that moment, all in one. But then Jay quickly did say he was riding around and listening and hearing imperfections. I believe he was saying for this record. And now if you pay attention, that's kind of what he talked about during Fearless Fred Fury. He would ride around in his truck and listen for imperfections in Fearless Fred while he was getting the record ready. So I think this is Jay's way of admitting that maybe Yum Yum wasn't fully ready for his liking. He sort of just put it out anyway, because he did say that he was listening and he hears imperfections in the record still. But at a certain point, as an artist, I gotta tell you gotta let that shit slide. You gotta just, at a certain point, you can't keep working a song. You're gonna work it to death. So I understand just being like, yo, we gotta get this shit out, especially when motherfuckers have put out release dates and not made them like 3 times in a row. There's a bit of a pressure thing going on there. Let's see. They did talk about taking a break for about a year and writing the Yum Yum Wave. I think that may be a reference into the fact that they're just doing these EPs. Maybe that means they have all that shit already done. I'm hoping that's what that means. So, especially if they're saying they're taking a break, that would mean that the EPs are already done. Maybe the EPs are just going to be leftover tracks from Yum Yum Bedlam. I'm guessing that's what they're going to be. Talked about streaming more in the future. They're definitely streaming in December, by the way. And Corey told the story about bringing a girl to an ICP show and getting dumped afterwards because Corey wasn't paying enough attention to this girl. And Violent J and Shaggy were basically like, yo, you dodged a bullet there, dude. All right. So we're an hour and 22 minutes in, and I just have one last thing to talk about. I listened to Powcast 89, and Shaggy 2 Dope opened up Powcast 89 with telling a story about seeing a very small penis in a locker room when he was a young man. Now, I bring this up, but it's not an animal genitalia, but it is genitalia nonetheless, and I find it fascinating, this man's fascination with genitalia. All right, folks, that's it. That's been the Humble Among broadcast system for this evening. Hopefully Shaggy 2 Dope brings up some animal genitalia on the next Palcast. You know I'm waiting for that shit. I hope everybody's having a great night. I'm gonna go, I guess, eat some food. I'm kind of fucking hungry. I guess we're gonna watch some shit. Tiger King 2 just got put on Netflix, so I might watch that shit. We'll see. But everybody have a good night. I'm going to try to do the legendary, the fabled panel stream this Saturday is the plan. So, episode 17 of the Humble Among broadcast system will be a panel stream. And I'm going to try to get some fools up on this. I'm going to try to get some topics to talk about. If you would like to be on this panel stream, just try to be ready for Saturday night, because I'm just going to go live and be throwing out that link to motherfuckers and shit. So let me know if you do want to go live. I will try to remember and send you the link when I do go live. Let's see. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Listen to my music on all streaming services. Hit that like button on this shit if you haven't already. Subscribe to the Humble Among YouTube channel that you're watching this on right now if you're not subscribed already. Listen to my music on all streaming services. Blah blah blah. Halloween Tape 4 is out now. That's my newest release. Right before that, I put out another album called Wonderland. They're both still brand spanking new, essentially. Go check those boys and girls out. That's 20 songs for you to check out. I don't know what time. I'm thinking it's going to be late, though, Whoopconda. I'm thinking it's probably going to be a late one. Because I want to get weird with it. And I like being weird late at night. So I'm thinking it's going to be late. So yeah, I would love for you to be on there, Whoopconda. You know, I want you on this goddamn stream because you got some knowledge, boy, and I want to pick that brain of you on that brain of yours on this stream. Whoopconda been to damn near every fucking gathering of the Juggalos. Got a lot of Juggalo knowledge in him. I would love to just have him on the stream because he's a cool motherfucker. Shouts out to everybody who tuned in. Shouts out to everybody who shows love. Shouts out to everybody who's a Juggalo. I love all of you. I hope everybody has a great night. I hope I have a great night. I love you. Whoop whoop. Oh, he'll just have his O on me. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. I see you. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye. Whoop whoop. Saturday.